Alright, so Mercedes-Maybach has just pulled the silk cover off what might be the most serious flex in luxury motoring right now. The new Mercedes-Maybach S-Class, and this is not some lazy little nip and tuck facelift with a shinier grille and a different wheel option slapped on for the brochure. No, Mercedes is calling this the most extensive update in Maybach S-Class history, and for once, that doesn't sound like corporate cappuccino foam. This thing gets a deeper redesign, a more theatrical exterior, a more lounge-like interior, more personalization, more intelligent software, new electrified engines, new suspension tricks, and an entirely new digital brain in the form of MB.OS, which is landing in a Maybach for the first time. So yes, this is still a luxury saloon for people who think business class is a bit too relatable, but now it's also trying to be a software-defined palace on wheels. And today we're breaking down everything: the new design, the new features, the powertrains, the tech, the ride, the rear seat madness, and why this new 2027 Mercedes-Maybach S-Class is more than just a rich person's S-Class with extra legroom. Let's start with the big picture. Mercedes is in the middle of a massive product push, and Maybach is a key pillar of that top-end strategy. This car isn't just another trim level, it's the brand's statement piece. It's where Mercedes throws all the elegance, all the craftsmanship, and now all the digital intelligence into one very expensive declaration of intent. And the intent here is obvious: make the Maybach S-Class feel less like a luxury car and more like an oasis. Not merely comfortable, not merely fast, not merely opulent, an oasis, a moving sanctuary, a rolling deep exhale. That's why the improvements aren't just mechanical, they're emotional. The whole car has been reworked around this idea of serene excellence, which is a fancy way of saying this thing wants to make everything outside the cabin feel like background noise in every possible sense. Now let's talk design, because the new Maybach isn't trying to be shouty, it's trying to be effortlessly intimidating. The front grille has been reinterpreted and it's now 20% larger, which is a very Mercedes-Maybach move. Not vulgar, just unmistakable. It's more sculptural, more upright, more commanding, and depending on market and spec, it can now have a luminous surround, because apparently even your grille can arrive with its own red carpet lighting package. Then there's the detail work. The Maybach wordmark can now be subtly illuminated within the grille frame, which is ridiculous in the best possible way. The double-star headlamps get rose gold accents, adding this jewelry-grade sophistication that feels more luxury watch than luxury car. Even the hood ornament and the C-pillar emblem can be illuminated in selected markets. That's the big thing with this car. It's not just redesigning the obvious parts, it's engineering atmosphere into the small details. And then you get to the wheels, where Mercedes has gone gloriously unnecessary, which is exactly what Maybach should be. The forged silver finish wheels now feature a floating Mercedes-Benz star mounted on a ball-bearing mechanism, so the emblem stays upright while the wheel rotates. Let me repeat that: even the wheel center cap refuses to lose composure. That is peak Maybach. It's absurd, it's over-engineered, it's beautifully pointless, which is precisely why it's brilliant. There are also new wheel designs, including a 21-inch manufacturer forged wheel in a sophisticated gold finish and a 20-inch polished forged wheel. So whether your vibe is old money subtle or modern ultra premium menace, there's a spec for that. And if you want darker, more contemporary energy, the Night Series now gets an even broader palette, including Nautic Blue Metallic. Pair that with dark chrome accents and the thing looks less like a limousine and more like a private members club that somehow learned how to do 150 miles per hour. Maybach has also turned entering the car into a ritual. A discrete projector in the side sills casts the Maybach wordmark onto the ground when you approach or leave. The automatic comfort doors, especially in the rear, can softly open and close via a button or the MB.OS display. That means this car doesn't just transport you, it stages your entrance. And that's a core difference between ordinary luxury and Maybach luxury. A normal luxury car gives you features. A Maybach gives you ceremony. Inside, the new Maybach goes for something more sophisticated than throw expensive materials at every surface and hope people cry. It's crafted to feel like an exquisite lounge. The cabin has been reworked with new open-pore woods, including beautifully grained oak, plus smoother digital surfaces, softer lighting, and a cleaner blend of analog and design. Mercedes keeps talking about the Maybach cocooning effect, and that's actually the right phrase. This interior is meant to wrap around you, not just impress you. At the center is the latest MB.OS superscreen, now integrated into the Maybach experience with brand-specific graphics and a more elegant visual tone. It doesn't feel like a generic big-screen luxury car setup, it feels tailored. The center console gets refinements too, including an enhanced phone cradle with integrated charging, framed by this gorgeous sculpted trim offered in finishes like open-pore oak or amber brown wood in a herringbone pattern. Then there's the rear, which is where Maybach goes from nice to why would I ever get out. The redesigned rear center console includes 2 bespoke holders for the optional silver-plated Rabe and Birkin champagne flutes. Yes, actual fitted flute holders. And behind the rear armrest is a refrigerator compartment with 10 liters of capacity to keep the champagne chilled. This is not a car that wants you to arrive. This is a car that wants you to reschedule the arrival so you can stay in the back longer. Leather-free luxury, modern flex, not compromise. One of the most interesting changes is philosophical. For the first time, the Maybach S-Class offers a leather-free interior. Now, normally, when brands say sustainable or alternative materials, you brace yourself for the vibe shift. But Maybach's approach sounds genuinely premium. The optional setup combines finely embossed Artico man-made leather with a new high-grade Mirville textile, a linen and recycled polyester blend with a natural fiber look. You still get the ultra-luxury treatment too, deep white piping, an open quilted diamond stitched graphic, and all the visual richness you expect from a flagship. So this isn't about stripping luxury back, it's about redefining what luxury can look and feel like. That's important because younger luxury buyers, especially millennial and Gen Z audiences, increasingly care about materials, design language, and taste as much as traditional status cues. This Maybach gets that. It's not trying to become casual, it's trying to become modern. Ambient lighting and sensory experience. Lighting matters in this car more than ever. The active ambient lighting setup uses 199 LEDs with 10 color worlds and 64 individually selectable colors, including Maybach exclusive tones like rose gold white and amethyst glow. And crucially, the light isn't just decorative, it responds to voice commands, climate adjustments, and driver assistance cues, so the cabin feels alive, intuitive, and carefully choreographed. The result is a cabin that doesn't just look premium, it behaves premium. MB.OS and the digital leap. Now we get to the biggest conceptual upgrade, MB.OS. This is the first time the Mercedes-Benz operating system has been integrated into a Maybach, and that's massive because this isn't just a new menu layout or a prettier home screen. It changes the entire digital architecture of the vehicle. The 4th generation MB.OS system now comes with a more advanced zero-layer, regular over-the-air updates, Maybach-specific graphics, and an MB.OS virtual assistant powered by generative AI. And yes, Mercedes says that includes AI from partners like Microsoft and Google, with references to ChatGPT-4o, Microsoft Bing Search, and Google Gemini. So this car isn't just voice controlled, it's conversational. It can hold more complex dialogues and recall previous interactions. That means your Maybach is no longer just a machine with voice commands. It's now trying to become a digitally aware luxury companion, which sounds mildly dystopian until you remember this is a Maybach, and even the dystopia comes with rose gold graphics and massage seats. The superscreen layout itself is also a centerpiece. The central and passenger displays sit under a single sheet of glass, while the instrument cluster rises with this sculptural luxury tech presence. And in the rear, passengers get 2 13.1-inch displays with newly designed configurable remotes, plus integrated cameras for video calls. So yes, this car can chauffeur you to a dinner reservation while letting you close a deal from the back seat, which is either wildly impressive or a sign that capitalism has gotten far too comfortable. Powertrains, serenity with muscle. Under the skin, Mercedes has heavily re-engineered the powertrain lineup. The key word here is electrified. The new Maybach gets updated 6 and 8-cylinder engines with mild hybrid support, better efficiency, sharper response, and greater refinement. At the top of the range in Europe and some selected markets is the updated 8-cylinder in the Maybach S-680, making 450 kilowatts plus 17 kilowatts and 850 newton meters plus 205 newton meters. Mercedes says this brings it level with the current 12-cylinder unit in performance terms. Then there's the Maybach S-580, whose V8 now develops 395 kilowatts plus 17 kilowatts and 750 newton meters plus 205 newton meters. And for buyers in selected markets who want the most progressive drivetrain of the lot, the Maybach S-580E with EQ hybrid technology combines a revised 6-cylinder petrol engine with a powerful electric motor and offers around 100 kilometers of all-electric range. That's a huge deal in this segment. It means the car can do luxury barge duty in silence for many daily journeys, yet still brings serious long-distance range and effortless combustion power when needed. Mercedes has also improved combustion efficiency, insulation, noise suppression, and vibration damping. There's a dedicated Maybach mode within Dynamic Select engineered specifically around ride comfort. Translation: even the powertrain is being asked to behave like it's wearing a tailored suit. And for certain markets, the V12 remains available, which is perfect because in a world sprinting toward electrification, there will always be a tiny, fabulously wealthy group of people who want 12 cylinders simply because 12 sounds more like destiny than 8. Ride comfort, predictive suspension, and even more calm. Ride quality is a major part of Maybach identity, so Mercedes didn't stop at engine updates. The new Airmatic air suspension now introduces intelligent predictive damping. Using car-to-X information from Mercedes vehicles ahead, transmitted through the intelligent cloud, the system can anticipate the road and adjust electronically before the car hits imperfections. That is deeply cool. It means the suspension is no longer just reacting to the road, it's preparing for it, which sounds less like suspension engineering and more like clairvoyance with German paperwork. Combined with the extra insulation and quieter driveline behavior, the new car should feel even more serene, especially for rear seat passengers. And remember, in a Maybach, the rear seat passenger is basically the main character. Mercedes has also fitted the new Maybach with a more advanced sensor suite and a water-cooled supercomputer with significant performance reserves for future capability. That supports the new generation of assistance systems, including MB Drive Assist, MB Drive Assist Plus, depending on market, and the more capable MB Drive Assist Pro, which Mercedes says enables smooth point-to-point travel even in dense urban environments. The rollout starts in China, then the USA, with more markets to follow once regulations allow. So yes, the new Maybach is becoming a much more intelligent co-pilot. Parking tech also gets MB.Drive. Parking Assist now identifies spaces on both sides earlier and, for the first time, supports diagonal parking. The 360 camera system gets enhanced displays, and there's even a digital extra for wheel protection warnings while maneuvering. Because nothing says elite anxiety like spending 7 figures on a bespoke spec and then curbing a forged wheel at brunch. Finally, personalization. This Maybach is being pushed hard into the bespoke space. Mercedes says there are more than 150 exterior paints and over 400 interior colors available as the foundation for customization. Manufacturer made to measure then opens the door to a near limitless range of combinations involving leather, stitching, embroidery, finishes, and more. There are new paint shades, new interior combinations, a digital visualizer to preview your spec, and one-to-one consultations that can happen in your home, dealership, or studio. In other words, Mercedes isn't just selling you a car, it's selling you authorship. And that's smart, because at this level, customers aren't just buying luxury, they're buying rarity, identity, and the feeling that their car exists as a one-off expression of taste. So what is the new 2027 Mercedes-Maybach S-Class really about? It's about taking a car that was already one of the benchmark luxury sedans on the planet and making it feel more personal, more intelligent, more refined, more dramatic, and more future-facing without losing the old-school Maybach magic. It still has the rear seat indulgence. It still has the quiet authority. It still has the handcrafted sense of occasion. But now it also has a larger illuminated grille, a more theatrical design, new electrified powertrains, predictive suspension, generative AI, over-the-air updates, more advanced driver assistance, leather-free luxury options, and personalization so deep it borders on obsession. This isn't just Maybach trying to keep up. This is Maybach reminding the entire luxury world that if you want to build the future of opulence, it had better feel calm, clever, and impossibly expensive. And honestly, mission very much accomplished.